recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the ranking member of our Energy Subcommittee, the gentlewoman from Florida, Ms. Castor, 5 minutes.
The gentlewoman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentleman from New Jersey for yielding the time. I rise in opposition to H.R. 4593 with a great concern that House Republicans simply do not care to work on any solutions to lower the cost of living for our hardworking neighbors back home. In 2025, House Republicans failed to bring one bill to the floor to lower the cost of living or to tackle the high rate of inflation. But here's some good news, actually. By tomorrow, thanks to House Democrats and a handful of Republicans who stood up to their Speaker, the House will vote to lower the cost of health care coverage for millions of Americans. That's a little bit of good news. But if Americans were hoping that Republicans in Congress would start 2026 off with some relief for their pocketbooks, I'm sorry to report that no, Republicans are not bringing bills to lower the cost of living. Congratulations to my Republican colleagues. Your first bill of 2026 to set the tone is to address shower heads. Critical. You heard that right. Ridiculous, isn't it? And so out of touch. The president, he promised he was going to cut Americans' power bills in half. But since he took office last year, electric bills are up by 13% across the country, and they're much higher in some places. 80 million Americans are struggling just to pay their electric bills. In Florida, the Republican-controlled Utilities Commission just approved the highest rate increases in the history of the country. They're calling them that, a $6 billion rate increase. And across the country, folks are facing about $86 billion in electric rate increases. So hold on to your wallet. Because rather than help, Republicans have only made things worse. You've gone along with arbitrary tariffs that have raised the cost of living. You've taken a hatchet to cleaner, cheaper energy. You've gone along with illegally halting energy projects. You ended tax cuts and rebates that help people afford their electric bills in order to pay for tax breaks for billionaires. Out of touch. Folks in the Northeast are worried about their rising electric bills because the president in December arbitrarily terminated 5 offshore wind projects that were under construction. That energy onto the grid would have helped keep the pressure on lower electric bills. The president canceled final approval for what would have been the nation's largest solar farm, a 6.2 gigawatt project in the Nevada desert. He illegally ended low-cost solar installation for working-class families that would have helped them and their family budgets. The president now has canceled major upgrades to the power grid out of the bipartisan infrastructure law, such as the Grain Belt Express transmission line. Republican policies now, we're adding it up, have cost Americans about 266 gigawatts of planned electricity generation projects in 2025 at a time when there is a surge of new demand for electricity across the country. Out of touch. And speaking of out of touch, of course, the president doesn't believe there's an affordability crisis. He's called it a hoax. The real issue for the president, shower pressure. And redecorating the White House, and so much more. Yes, it was last April that the president thought it was so important he issued an executive order to end the Obama-Biden war on water pressure and make America's showers great again. Out of touch. But he urged Congress to codify that order. So that's what we're doing here tonight on the first bill of 2026 by this Republican majority. Seriously? So what has been the president's focus during all this time? He's called the affordability crisis a hoax. Well, he paved over the Rose Garden. He's now torn down the east wing of the White House to make way for a grand ballroom funded by people who have business in front of the federal government. He's all over the White House. I haven't been over, but all of the pictures are 24-karat gold, now ornamentation all through the White House. He has installed marble floors. I've seen him tweet that out. Has also added his name to the Kennedy Center. For those of you that haven't come to Washington, D.C., he's put banners of his picture up on federal buildings. He's proposing to put his likeness on gold
Gentlewoman's
coins.
time has expired.
Gentlewoman, additional 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Gentlelady is recognized.
I think you get my drift here. But it was so galling as people are trying to pay their electric bill, their grocery bill, that the president here is bragging about how he's redone the Lincoln bathroom, yes, with gold shower heads. We don't need to redefine what constitutes a shower head. We don't need to weaken energy and water conservation measures that help people save money. We don't need to make life more expensive for hardworking neighbors back home. We don't need to boost foreign manufacturers who want to import inferior products to the U.S., but that's what you're doing. No, in 2026, we're going to need real solutions. I beseech my colleagues to work with us to tackle the high cost of living. What you could look back on 2025 now, federal spending is up. You added $2 trillion to the national debt. You've lost manufacturing jobs when you add it all up. And now your answer on the first bill of the Congress in 2026 is shower heads. Out of touch. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.